Hello, everyone. As some of you may know, I've been doing videos streaming on Facebook of devotionals that I've been doing in my personal life for the last several months. I'm going to try something new. I'm going to record them and then try to upload them so they can be on YouTube also. I haven't really liked the quality that it's been giving me streaming directly to Facebook, so I'm going to try it a little bit different. Just a little bit of a disclaimer, these are not Bible studies, these are just kind of highlights from my own personal devotions each week. So I hope you've been enjoying your time in the scriptures and love for you to share with me what you've been reading. For the last several months, I've been going through, I usually do one psalm each week, one proverb. And then I've been kind of switching back and forth from the Old and New Testament. Right now I'm in Jeremiah. Well, let's start off this week in Psalm 69. I've got a few weeks to catch up because I was out of town for vacation. So this is the first video. Psalm 69, starting in verse 1. Save me, O God, for the waters have come up to my neck. I sink in the miry depths where there is no foothold. I have come into the deep waters. The floods engulf me. I am worn out calling for help. My throat is parched. My eyes fail looking for my God. Those who hate me without reason outnumber the hairs of my head. Many are my enemies without cause. Those who seek to destroy me, I am forced to restore what I did not steal. You, God, know my folly. My guilt is not hidden from you. But I pray to you, Lord, in the time of your favor. Jumping down to verse 13. In your great love, O God, answer me with your sure salvation. Man, that's such a great verse there. Answer me with your sure salvation. That's something we can trust in and look to and depend on. Rescue me from the mire. Do not let me sink. Deliver me from those who hate me, from the deep waters. Do not let the floodwaters engulf me, or the depths swallow me up, or the pit close its mouth over me. Answer me, Lord, out of the goodness of your love. In your great mercy, turn to me. Do not hide your face from your servant. Answer me quickly, for I am in trouble. Come near and rescue me. Deliver me because of my foes. And I've said this before, but one of the things I love so much about the Psalms is we just see the heart's cry, the true reality of the psalmist's situation, just calling out to God, seeking for deliverance, just pure honesty in the relationship with God. And that's what we can all have, is just calling to God, being honest, being true with what is happening in our lives, in our hearts, in our minds, and in the world around us. Well, let's jump to Proverbs 26. I love these few verses here talking about dealing with fools, and whether you think the people around you are fools or maybe you yourself are a fool and you can learn lessons from this. I think it has value for all of us. But I love verse 4 and 5 because it seems like no matter what you do, it's not going to work if someone is being foolish. Verse 4, do not answer a fool according to his folly, or you yourself will be just like him. But then verse 5 tells us, answer a fool according to his folly, or he will be wise in his own eyes. Again, Proverbs are these little bits of wisdom trying to help us to deal with the world around us in a godly manner. And sometimes it's important to set people straight. Sometimes it's important just to let it go. Verse 6, sending a message by the hands of a fool is like cutting off one's feet or drinking poison. Krista and I had that when we were dating. We were getting information from the wrong person, and we were receiving information that wasn't true, both of us, and thinking it was true. So be careful who you use to send messages. Like the useless legs of one who is lame is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. Like tying a stone in a sling is the giving of honor to a fool. Like a thorn bush in a drunkard's hand is a proverb in the mouth of a fool. Like an archer who wounds at random is one who hires a fool or any passerby. As a dog returns to its vomit, so fools repeat their folly. And then finally, it says, do you see a person wise in their own eyes? There is more hope for a fool than for them. Well, let's jump to Jeremiah. Started off a few weeks back in Jeremiah 38. Jeremiah prophesying to the people and letting them know their situation. They were going to be conquered, and he's telling them, listen to the Lord. So in verse 2 of Jeremiah 38, he says, "This is what the Lord says: whoever stays in this city will die by the sword, famine, or plague, but whoever goes over to the Babylonians will live. They will escape with their lives, they will live. And this is what the Lord says: the city will certainly be given into the hands of the army of the king of the Babylonians, who will capture it." Then the officials said to the king, "This man should be put to death. He is discouraging the soldiers who are left in this city, as well as all the people, by the things he is saying to them. This man is not seeking the good of these people, but their ruin." I don't know if you catch that in reading through Jeremiah, but Jeremiah is telling the people what the Lord says to them. And then there are leaders and sometimes even priests who are telling the people, he is not telling you the truth. He is lying to you. Those are not the words of the Lord. And so Jeremiah ends up often paying the penalty for sharing the truth with these people. In fact, in verse 5, King Zedekiah says, "He is in your hands. The king can do nothing to oppose you." So they took Jeremiah and put him into the cistern of Malchiah, the king's son, which was in the courtyard of the guard. They lowered Jeremiah by ropes into the cistern. It had no water in it, only mud, and Jeremiah sank down into the mud. And then in Jeremiah 39, we read, "In the 9th year of Zedekiah, king of Judah, in the 10th month, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, marched against Jerusalem with his whole army and laid siege to it. And on the 9th day of the 4th month, the city wall was broken through." And so we see Jeremiah proved right. Verse 15, "While Jeremiah had been confined in the courtyard of the guard, the word of the Lord came to him. Go and tell Ebed-Melech the Cushite, this is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says. I'm about to fulfill my words against this city, words concerning disaster, not prosperity. At that time they will be fulfilled before your eyes. But I will rescue you on that day, declares the Lord. You will not be given into the hands of those you fear. I will save you. You will not fall by the sword, but will escape with your life, because you trust in me, declares the Lord." So we see here in the life of Jeremiah, he was obedient to God and shared that message. And even though the people did not listen to him and they did these terrible things to him, God saw him and God preserved him. Well, Jeremiah 40, we see this other section of God speaking to Jeremiah, and it says, "The word came to Jeremiah from the Lord after Nebuzaradan, commander of the imperial guard, had released him at Ramah. He had found Jeremiah bound in chains among all the captives from Jerusalem and Judah who were being carried into exile to Babylon. When the commander of the guard found Jeremiah, he said to him, 'The Lord your God decreed this disaster for this place, and now the Lord has brought it about. He has done just as he said he would. All this happened because you people sinned against the Lord and did not obey him.'" So again, we see Jeremiah's words coming true, and he was kind of vindicated in that, although I don't think he was happy about the things that he was prophesying. And then let's jump to Jeremiah 42, because we see this interaction between the people, and we see this lesson that we should learn of being obedient to God and not allowing other people to influence our walk with God. Jeremiah 42 verse 1 says, "All the army officers, including Johanan and Jezniah, son of Hoshea, and all the people from the least to the greatest, approached Jeremiah the prophet and said to him, 'Please hear our petition and pray to the Lord your God for this entire remnant. For as you now see, though we were once many, now only a few are left. Pray that the Lord your God will tell us where we should go and what we should do.' 'I have heard you,' replied Jeremiah. 'I will certainly pray to the Lord your God as you have requested. I will tell you everything the Lord says and will keep nothing back from you.' Then they said to Jeremiah, 'May the Lord be a true and faithful witness against us if we do not act in accordance with everything the Lord your God sends you to tell us. Whether it is favorable or unfavorable, we will obey the Lord our God to whom we are sending you, so that it will go well with us, for we will obey the Lord our God.'" People come to Jeremiah and they're seeking God. They want to know what God's going to say, but then they don't listen. 10 days later, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah. So he called together Johanan and all the army officers who were with him and all the people from the least to the greatest. He said to them, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, to whom you sent me to present your petition, says. If you stay in this land, I will build you up and not tear you down. I will plant you and not uproot you, for I have relented concerning the disaster I have inflicted on you. Do not be afraid of the king of Babylon, whom you now fear. Do not be afraid of him, for I am with you and will save you and deliver you from his hands. I will show you compassion so that he will have compassion on you and restore you to your land. However, if you say, 'We will not stay in this land,' and so disobey the Lord your God, and if you say, 'No, we will go and live in Egypt, where we will not see war or hear the trumpet or be hungry for bread,' then hear the word of the Lord, you remnant of Judah. This is what the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, says. If you are determined to go to Egypt, and you do go to settle there, then the sword you fear will overtake you there, and the famine you dread will follow you into Egypt, and there you will die. Indeed, all who are determined to go to Egypt to settle there will die by the sword, famine, and plague. Not one of them will survive or escape the disaster I will bring on them." So these people, they kind of got it right. They're seeking God, wanting to follow him, asking Jeremiah to pray to God. But then they don't listen to the word that Jeremiah brings to them afterwards. They decide they're going to do what they want to do rather than what God tells them to do. Got to be so careful in our lives that we listen to that word of the Lord in our hearts and in our minds, and we follow the plan that God has for us rather than what we think is right in our own eyes. Well, that was my time in the scriptures a few weeks back. Again, I'm a few weeks behind from being on vacation, so I'll try to catch up a little bit, try to get a couple more devotionals out there. Hope you all have a great week, and I hope you're enjoying your time in the scriptures. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.